Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am live. Sorry. How are you guys feeling? How are you guys doing? How is everybody? Yo. Anybody here? Say hi. How are you? Tell me what you've been up to. How do we feel about tonight? I'm oddly in a good mood. I'm not supposed to be, but it's weird. Oh man. So for those of you that are joining me this evening, thank you so much for watching. I will actually let me get that set up right now so that people can see that I'm not messing about. All right. I am not messing about. Here we go. All right. Come on. There we go. So we await for Mr. Ramaphosa to address us this evening. We'll see. I'm gonna give you in just a moment. I'll let you. I'll let you know what I'm thinking is gonna happen. But let me say hi to some of the peeps. All right. So Eleutheria is saying that she is here first, which is odd because earlier in the stream, or earlier when I set up the stream, Yanni actually posted first, and now that comment is gone. But either way, YouTube does its own thing now. So there you go. Anti-Marxist is also here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just Zion says, hi, how are you, buddy? Nabila is here. Nabila, how are you doing, by the way? How's the op? How's your leg? Saw some posts on Facebook. I'm glad to see that you're on the road to recovery, and I wish you a very speedy recovery at that. And yes, I did miss you. It's good to have you back. I will tell her that you say hi. Do you think we're going back to stage 5? No, I do not think that. Effing nervous, and you've been drinking. No, I wish maybe I should bring out the Jack Daniels. Germ's not watching. Hello, Mr. Punisher. And Nabila saying thank you, of course, anytime. All right, so before I get into it, ladies and gentlemen, please, social media links. If you want to follow me on social media, description below. Go check it out. Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. You can follow me. Please subscribe if you are new to this channel. Also, go into the chats of these like SABC and ENCA and all these other guys and just bombard them and say, come to this channel. This is where it's happening. All right. Please like this video as well. And remember, you can support my channel for as little as 10 Rand a month. 10 Rand a month. That's all it takes is 10 Rand a month to support me, man. Come on. And yes, if you want a comment or a question to be highlighted, please consider using a super chat. Also goes towards the channel and support me in the channel. If you give a super chat, and by YouTube law, I have to address it. And if you're so inclined, please also subscribe to the Telegram channel. I need to get an admin person to help me with that, but it is somewhat up to date. I'm not selling this Telegram channel very well. I will be moving over to Telegram pretty soon, though, completely. So yeah, yeah. I think you're going back to stage 3 just before Christmas, or just for Christmas. Ruan Wade, hello, Ruan. Thank you for tuning in. Afrikaans, Xhosa, Cyril Ramaphosa. 2 languages, Cyril Ramaphosa. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so here's my opinion. We've got about, well, according to this, we've got about just under 9 minutes, sorry. And going by News 24 article that was released yesterday or the day before, there's going to be a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. The bars, shebeens, all those taverns need to basically close at 9. Events are no longer going to happen. I'm not too sure about like the whole 500. I don't know if events are going to be completely canceled, but I'm seeing a lot of comedy gigs being canceled. I'm seeing a lot of comedy gigs saying they're taking a break. I was supposed to film my one-man show in December. That had to be postponed. So the events section or sector is making arrangements. So it's disheartening to say the least. But yeah, so what else? Oh, alcohol will no longer be sold normal hours. It's only going to be from Monday to Thursday, I think, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's what I can remember so far. So yeah, that's what I think is definitely going to happen. I am hoping that travel will still be allowed, but I highly doubt it. I think maybe they'll take away international travel for now. They just opened it up, but maybe now they're going to go like, let's maybe not too soon. And then I think here's my suspicion, right? And I've been saying this for a while now, and I've been hoping that I was wrong. I really, really hoped that I was wrong. And I'm still hoping I'm wrong. But it feels like the ANC is just easing us back into a lockdown level 3. They threaten hard lockdowns because when they say the term hard lockdown, we think, oh, lockdown level 4, lockdown level 5. I don't think they can do that because it has been deemed unconstitutional. So lockdown level 4 and 5. So they threaten, they groom us, and like, I'm gonna beat you with a belt. Meanwhile, they're just gonna give us a bit of a slap in the face. So that's, yes, I did mention the 10 p.m. curfew. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but yes, I think it's gonna be a 10 p.m. curfew, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. So yeah, I think we're just being eased back into lockdown level 3. Now, I do have to say this is only in regards to the hotspots, and who knows who the hotspots are. I imagine we're going to hear tonight what these hotspots are. We do know it's Western Cape, Eastern Cape, I believe as well. Certain areas have been deemed hotspots, so I imagine that's actually what's going to happen. So yeah, and then slowly the numbers are going to get worse. They're going to be like, boom, we need to go into lockdown level 3, people. I'm hoping it's after Christmas that they do that, but I don't know. And you know what? I've been predicting we're going to go back into lockdown level 3 for a while now. And I still hope that I am wrong. Yeah, so there we go. Bradley Cook saying, Joe Emilio, curfew, limited alcohol hours, curfew, mass gatherings stopped. Yep, that's what I said earlier as well. I know that's going to happen. I think there might be 1 or 2 extra things that maybe, like, I don't think it's going to be hectic. I really don't think they're going to go too overboard this time. I think they're just going to ease us back into it. That's what I see. That's crazy, man. Come to Zim. No one listens to the curfew. You see the cops in the bars. That is awesome. Good for Zimbabwe for not listening. Finally, they decided not to listen to the government. Good on them. I like that. Look, I mean, in South Africa, like, no one's honest about it, but I don't think a lot of people listen to the current government either. So yeah. Hello, JC McFarlane. Ladies and gentlemen, JC McFarlane in the house. He still hasn't become a member to my channel. How disappointing. I'm kidding. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. So yeah, that's my prediction for tonight. And you know what? Last time I was shocked at the last president's speech because he was like, normal drinking hours. And I was like, what? That really took me by surprise. Nabila saying we need to have her on my show again. We do. We do. But I don't do the roast shows anymore. It's changed to the roast the headlines. It's far better. It's far, far better. So we don't really roast comedians anymore. But if you're keen, your option Mikhail, Bevan, or Oba King. Maybe Chantel will be interested again. I don't know. No one really wanted to do the whole roasting thing. So we made it into roasting the headlines, which, again, honestly, is a far better show. So yeah. Catherine saying hi. Hello, Catherine. Thank you for tuning in. JC McFarlane laughing, I guess, at what I said. And Shanae Hendricks saying hi. Hello, Shanae. Good to have you with us. All right, so guys, if you want, you can tell people that they can watch the president's speech here on this channel. I don't really talk much during the president's speech. I might comment once or twice, but for the most part, I stay quiet. And then I'll give my 2 cents after his speech is done. And then I'll be doing probably another speech. I don't know if Yanni or Amy are watching, but if they are, then I'll ask them to join me in the next stream. I was supposed to do a stream with them during this time. And yeah, the president said, so I don't know, maybe you guys can join us for that conversation if you want to. So yeah. One Mare Young is asking, do you think inter-province travel will be closed? I'm hoping it is not. I think a lot of people are nervous about that. A lot of people want to see their families over the holidays, over Christmas. And yeah. If he cancels travel, I want to get drunk. Shit, do I have a bottle of wine? Because I'll take you up on that offer and you can join me on the stream afterwards. If you're keen. If that, Eleutheria, if that is a genuine request, I'll see if I can make it happen. I do have a Jack Daniels, but it's not mine. Also, I'm not a fan of Jack Daniels. How late is the president going to be? Good question. How late do we think the president is going to be? It is already, well, it's 7:59 on my side. Do we think he's going to be 5 minutes? 2 minutes? I don't know. Nabila seems to think he's going to be 7 minutes. I think he's going to be 5 minutes late. Last time he was on time, though. I will give him that. He was on time last time. Gentle Inflatables joining us as well. Look, the moment he goes on, I will allow him to do his thing. Yeah. Yep. I know. There's a lot of people that feel the way you do, Treshka. I know. Fantastic. You didn't answer my question, though. There he is, Yanni. Yanni, we're probably going to do a stream after the speech. I'm going to give my 2 cents. I'm going to close this stream. Then I'm going to open a new stream. Yanni, are you still keen to join? He's learning how to put on a Santa hat on. I doubt that very much. Good evening, Avril. Good to have you with us. JC saying, damn it, some tourism and aviation companies will probably then close permanently. No more business rescue processes. Oh, they'll still make that happen. Don't you worry, my friend. What did I miss? Honestly, gentle, nothing. We've just been talking to each other. Yeah, man, Kina's always cool. You must pour yourself a brandy and Coke because if travel is canceled, then Eleutheria and I might be drinking I don't know about getting drunk, but we'll be drinking. So yeah, cool. We are, yes. You've got 6 minutes. Oh, I say 5. I think he's gonna come on at. Okay, so I get 3 minutes now. I got 3 minutes. I get nothing for this though. But I don't know who gets what. Hey, Amy, there she is. Okay, cool. So if you're keen, still Amy, I am going to do another stream after this. I'm going to give my 2 cents after the president is done, close the stream, open up a new one. I'll send you the link if you're keen. Yanni's already said he's keen, so there we go. And Cyril Ramaphosa says, just wait, that's a card. Then I can top up my data to start Zoom. All right, so Ramaphosa will wait for you. Thank you so much for the 140 Rand super chat. I feel like you could have given $1 million. Oh, here we go.
Goeienaand. Die Madekwana, Riperile, Sanbonan, Dumelang, Lochan, my fellow South Africans. Tonight I wish to speak to you about the current state of the coronavirus pandemic in our country. But before doing so, I wish to express my profound appreciation to all South Africans who observed the 5 days of mourning from the 25th to the 29th of November in honor of those who have lost their lives to COVID-19 and to gender-based violence and femicide. As we remember them, let us pledge that we will do everything within our means to contain these 2 pandemics and continue saving lives. The global pandemic continues to cause devastation across the world, with more than 64 million infections and nearly 1.5 million confirmed deaths in a number of countries, including ours. We've seen many countries around the world experience a resurgence of the coronavirus, some with second waves even worse than their initial peak. Where South Africa once had the 5th highest number of infections in the world, we have now fallen to 14th in the world as infections in other countries, these have surged dramatically. And yet, despite the progress we have made, we've always known that a second wave of infections is possible in our own country. We do not take the necessary measures to protect ourselves and those around us. There is now clear evidence of a resurgence of infections in parts of our country, which, if not confronted decisively and directly, could lead to great suffering and death. This pandemic has already taken a heavy toll on our country. A total number of 800,872 people are confirmed to have been infected by the virus in South Africa since March. Around 92% of these people have, however, recovered, and this is good news. As of today, 21,803 people are known to have died from COVID-19 in South Africa. For nearly 100 days since the middle of August, we managed to keep the rate of new infections stable at below 2,000 new infections a day. However, that has changed in the last 3 weeks. There has been a marked rise in new infections and an increase in the number of people being admitted to our hospitals. In the first week of November, we were recording an average of 1,500 new cases a day. By the last week of November, this had almost doubled to an average of around 2,900 new cases a day. Yesterday, South Africa recorded over 4,400 new infections, the largest daily increase in infections since the middle of August. The total number of hospital admissions is now over 5,800 nationally, and it keeps on increasing. 3 weeks ago, hospital admissions were around 4,900. There are 3 areas in our country that account for most of these new infections. I alluded to some of these when I last spoke to the nation. These are Nelson Mandela Bay and the Sarah Baartman district in the Eastern Cape, and the Garden Route district in the Western Cape. Hospital admissions in these districts are on the rise. In some instances, they are comparable to those during the first wave of infections. In the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape, there's been an increase in both reported COVID-19 deaths and excess deaths. This must be a concern for every one of us. There are a number of reasons for the rise in transmission. Many people are tending to travel between provinces and within each province in higher numbers, especially with the festive season now approaching. In the case of the Garden Route, this also applies to the movement of seasonal workers who work in one province and live in another province. Social, cultural, and religious gatherings are being held in large numbers. In many cases, these gatherings are often attended by many more people than what is permitted under Level 1 restrictions. What is concerning is that these are also often held in venues or places which have poor ventilation. This is particularly the case for funerals, which are often followed by large so-called after-tears parties. Several hospitals in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro have reported a rise in alcohol-related trauma admissions. As we have said in the past, these alcohol-related trauma admissions divert our capacity that is needed to deal with COVID-related cases. But by far the greatest contributing cause of infections is that many people are not wearing masks and are not observing proper hygiene and social distancing. As I said during our last family meeting, at alert level 1, we have the measures we need to control the virus. All the tools are in place. But our main problem is that there are parts of our country where people are not complying with the current restrictions and the basic prevention measures are not being followed. The most urgent task before us now is to contain the rise in infections in the affected districts in the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape, and to ensure that a similar situation does not develop in other parts of the country. To prevent this, we're putting into motion the resurgence plan that we developed with the World Health Organization's search team. We are making more capacity available at hospitals and clinics in these areas. We are expanding public health interventions such as testing, contact tracing, isolation and quarantine. We're also stepping up our awareness campaigns around public health regulations. Now, fellow South Africans, we must change our behavior now to prevent a resurgence of the virus and manage outbreaks wherever they occur. If we think of this pandemic like a bushfire, we need to quickly extinguish the flare-ups, the flames, before they turn into a big wildfire like an inferno. At the same time, we need to do all we can to keep the economy of our country open and to push ahead with our reconstruction and recovery effort. In line with our differentiated approach to the management of the pandemic, we will therefore implement additional measures in those areas identified as coronavirus hotspots. When identifying a hotspot, consideration is given to the number of new COVID-19 cases that occur per day, the test rate within the population, the percentage positivity rate within the population, the number of active cases, the number of hospital admissions, and the number of deaths. This may sound complicated, but it is how we determine what a hotspot is. Now, following a recommendation of the National Coronavirus Command Council, and after consultation with premiers, metro mayors, and traditional leaders, Cabinet has decided to declare the Nelson Mandela Bay Metropolitan Municipality as a coronavirus hotspot. In addition to the existing Alert Level 1 regulations, the following additional restrictions will apply in Nelson Mandela Bay Metro with effect from midnight tonight. First is that the hours of the curfew will be from 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. This means that, except for emergencies, no person may be outside their place of residence between these times. This does not apply to essential workers who are permitted to work during these hours. Secondly, sale of alcohol from retail outlets will only be permitted between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. from Monday to Thursday.
There you go. 6 p.m.
Okay. Alcohol consumption in public spaces such as the beautiful beaches of the area and parks is strictly forbidden. This is necessary to prevent large social gatherings that often take place in those spaces. Fourthly, gatherings, including religious gatherings, may not be attended by more than 100 people for indoor events, and 250 for outdoor events.
Okay, they
restricted it. At all times,
it.
The total number of people in a venue may not exceed more than 50% of the capacity of the venue. That is the carrying capacity of the venue. And finally, all post-funeral gatherings that are now regarded as after-tears parties are prohibited. These additional measures are necessary to contain the resurgence that we are experiencing right now in Nelson Mandela Bay, to prevent outbreaks resulting from social gatherings, and to protect the capacity of our healthcare system to provide care for those who need it. Now, in determining these restrictions, we have sought to take those steps which are absolutely necessary to save lives while limiting disruptions to the economy. Following extensive consultations with traditional leaders, we have agreed that the summer initiation season in the Eastern Cape may go ahead.
Okay.
This is because traditional leaders in the Eastern Cape have submitted a risk-adjusted plan that has been approved by the Departments of Health and Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs. This plan includes strict adherence to health protocols, including screening of initiates, the provision of personal protective equipment, and the provision of water for hygiene and to prevent dehydration. However, due to the high rates of infection in the metro, no initiation schools will be allowed in Nelson Mandela Bay. The measures that are being taken in relation to Nelson Mandela Bay are not meant to punish the residents of Nelson Mandela Bay. They are not intended to increase the hardship that is already being experienced by our citizens. These measures are needed to contain the spread of the virus and to save lives. In the coming days, the Minister of Health, Dr. Zwelini Mkhize, will be visiting the Sarah Baartman district and the Garden Route to assess the situation and to engage with various stakeholders in the province. Based on this assessment and the development of the disease in these areas, the National Coronavirus Command Council will determine the appropriate course of action, and if any, that will be announced in due course. To ensure that we maintain the current prevention measures, the national state of disaster will be extended to the 15th of January 2021.
I knew it. I
in line
knew it.
with the Disaster Management Act. All existing level 1 restrictions remain in force and in place throughout the country. We have all the tools that we need to prevent a resurgence in the rest of the country. We can only do this if every one of us play their part. We can only prevent a second wave if all of us respect the rules, the measures, and the protocols that have been put in place for the protection of everyone. For the safety of all of us, those who break the rules must face consequences. We have instructed law enforcement officials to ensure compliance with the law by owners, by controllers, managers of workplaces, shops, institutions, and buildings to ensure social distancing and wearing of masks and all the other hygiene protocols. Taxi operators are also required to ensure that all their passengers in their vehicles wear masks.
Yeah, because
In
taxis
addition, each one of us will be required to comply with the curfew times. Together with the measures to contain a resurgence in hotspot areas, the national effort continues to strengthen public health interventions such as community screening, increased testing, contact tracing, and communication on behavioral change. As we have said in the past, the only viable defense we'll have against COVID-19 will be the vaccine. There are now many initiatives around the world to speed up the development of a vaccine. We continue to collaborate with our partners in the international community to ensure that all countries have access to an effective and affordable vaccine so that no one is left behind. We are participating in the World Health Organization's COVID-19 Global Vaccine Access Facility, known as the COVAX facility. which aims to pool resources and share vaccine development risk and thus ensure equitable access to vaccines when they become available. We are encouraged that the Solidarity Fund that we formed at the beginning of surge in infections will be making the initial contribution of 327 million rand towards this vaccine procurement on behalf of our country.
Let's see
We're
if it
also
actually goes to the
encouraged
vaccines.
by the promising results from 3 trials of candidate vaccines, which have shown efficacy levels of between 70 and 95%. We await confirmation from medicine regulators that these vaccines are safe, that they are effective, and that they will be suitable for the needs of our people. In South Africa, our own Health Products Regulatory Authority, SAPRA, will review the approval applications when received from the developers of vaccines and authorize their use. Let us remember that until a vaccine is developed and distributed, we remain our own best protection against COVID-19. It is through our everyday actions that we will keep ourselves and others safe. And I need to keep on repeating this message, that it is through wearing a mask in public at all times that we will be able to keep ourselves safe. It is also by observing social distancing and avoid large gatherings and indoor spaces where ventilation is poor. It is through regularly washing or sanitizing our hands. I know we may get bored with the repetition of the same message, but I'd like this message to sink. I was recently most impressed that a 4-year-old little girl was repeating exactly the same message and telling adults what the president has been saying. So the message
Stop using
does need
kids
to be repeated
to guilt
so
trip
that
people.
it sinks into our subconsciouses. We can also protect ourselves by downloading the COVID Alert mobile app that can notify us if we are exposed to the virus and thereby help to break the chain of transmission. It is extremely encouraging that the COVID Alert SA app has now been downloaded by more than 1 million South Africans. If you have not yet
That's not me.
downloaded it,
That's
you
not
are
me.
one of those who are being left behind. If there is anything this pandemic has taught us,
That's them.
it is the danger of becoming complacent and relaxing. Across the world, countries with declining infections have eased restrictions only to experience a second and even a more severe wave, forcing them to reimpose restrictions on movement, on gatherings, and on economic activity. If there ever was a time for caution, this is the time. The festive season is approaching. Schools and places of higher learning have closed for the summer holidays. Many of us are winding down at work and will soon be at home with our families. Many of us are preparing to travel to reunite with friends and family. Traveling carries great risks, which we can reduce by unnecessary travel. We can and in both public and private spaces. These social gatherings, fellow South Africans, can be super spreader events that carry a huge risk of transmission of the virus. This is being experienced by many countries across the world. Each of us needs to ensure we take precautions to avoid spreading the virus to our families, especially our elders. We should keep gathering them outside or in well-ventilated venues. Have them outside or in well-ventilated venues. We should ensure social distancing and continue wearing our masks as much as possible. We must remember that as much as we want to relax, this virus does not relax. And this virus does not take a holiday. This 2020 has been a difficult year for us as a nation and as a country. It has severely tested our resolve and demanded great sacrifices of each and every one of us. But even as the holidays approach, we cannot let our guard down. Unless we take personal responsibility for our health and the health of others, more people are going to become infected. More people are going to die. Over the last 8 months, many people have lost parents, siblings, spouses, friends, and colleagues to COVID-19. As a nation, we have lost many brave frontline workers who are caring for those in hospitals and our clinics. We've lost essential service workers who helped to keep the country running, moving, and operating during the lockdown period. We've lost teachers who went to school every day to support our children and to ensure our matriculants were able to write their final exams. We owe it to all those whose lives have been so tragically cut short by this deadly virus, not to let the same suffering and pain be visited on even more families and more of our people. We owe it to our own friends and relatives and those around us. We owe it to our country, because a resurgence of the virus would be a severe blow and a setback to our emerging economic recovery, to our efforts to restore and create jobs, and to our provision of services to our people. Most of all, we owe it to ourselves and each other, because this affects all of us. Tonight, we stand in solidarity with the people of Nelson Mandela Bay Metro as they work to contain this outbreak. I have the utmost confidence that Premier Oscar Mabuyane and the leadership of the Eastern Cape is doing and will do all that is necessary to bring the rate of infection down once again. I call on each and every one of you to remember those whose lives have been lost and the precious lives we still have to save. Over the past 8 months, we succeeded in bringing the virus under control by acting together and working hand in hand. We fought this pandemic with everything that we had. Through our combined efforts, we saved many thousands of lives, which would otherwise have been needlessly lost. Now, as the number of infections begins to rise again, we cannot, we must not sacrifice the gains that we have made. We cannot return to the dark days of June and July. You remember? When transmission of the virus was widespread
was that?
and scary. and the lives of our families and friends were at risk. Just as we know that a second wave is possible, we know too that it can be avoided. So tonight, I'm asking you to recommit yourself to this fight. We're in a fight of our lives. We can still prevent the virus from spreading any further if we take the appropriate steps now. Just as we did in the early days of the pandemic, let us stand together and let us work together. We will get through this period of difficulty as we did the ones before. May God continue to bless our beautiful country, South Africa, and protect all her people. I thank you.
Alrighty then. What a load of cock. Sorry about that, guys. That was not me. That was SABC. They lost their connection. And I was obviously trying to switch over to ENCA, which I'll probably stick with from now on. Anyway, all right. So quickly, my thoughts. And my thoughts are as follows. It's all BS. A lot of people are confused about who or for which province or city or hotspot that this applies to. And it is only applying to, let's see here, outlines decision, blah, blah. More blah blah. Okay, so Nelson Mandela Bay is heavily, like, they're basically headed towards the lockdown level 3 because Nelson Mandela Bay sale of alcohol from stores will only take place from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And drinking of alcohol in public spaces is forbidden. For Nelson Mandela Bay as well, curfew from 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. That doesn't make sense. I think that's a typo. I think they meant to say 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Sale of alcohol, sale restrictions, blah, blah, blah. We already read that part. So it's not for Cape Town. It is, from what I can tell so far, it is only for Eastern Cape or Nelson Mandela Bay specifically. Cabinet declares Nelson Mandela Bay Metro as a COVID-19 hotspot. There you go. So, Eleutheria, we're not going to drink tonight. Yeah, I see you saying that already. So, you can still travel to, well, I think either way, travel has not been banned. You can still go to Eastern Cape. You can still go to wherever you want to go in the country. So at least that didn't go away. The restrictions we were hearing about are happening, but only in Nelson Mandela Bay, from what it sounds like, which is good and bad. Everyone has an opinion about this. I don't think it's going to help, to be honest. Anybody who watched Morning Shot's video this morning, he brought up a very, very, very good point. You could see the peak of infections rise, then there was the big peak, and then it decreased. And nowhere on this graph that they were showing could you see any of the regulations having an effect on the curve. So the banning of cigarettes, the banning of alcohol, all that stuff didn't affect. Just people got infected, it went back down, it did nothing. So watch that video, Yanni, if you can, or someone who might know the video I'm talking about, please share it. I think it's the video that Rahman or Morning Shot did this morning, or he may have done it yesterday. So please check that out. Very good video. Very, very good. Everybody needs to watch that. So yeah, vaccines were mentioned. A lot of stuff was mentioned. I'm gonna be honest, guys. It's getting very difficult for me to listen. Like, I zoned out quite a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to know, is Western Cape going into a harsher lockdown? It doesn't sound like it. Is it going to happen? Maybe. Maybe. I have a feeling that after Christmas, a lot of the nation is going to be back into a harder lockdown. I hated it when he said, "Do you remember?" Almost like a threatening kind of fatherly thing that he did there, which was just disgusting. I didn't like the way he said family meeting, because Mr. Ramaphosa, I don't know if you've noticed, but your family is broken and heavily divided. There are children that you are trying to protect that don't want your protection. As a matter of fact, you are being rejected as the father of this family. And it's not that the family, it's not to say that South Africa doesn't want to believe that we're family. I think for the most part we do, but we just don't want you leading this family. And when you think that you are part of this family, that is your biggest mistake. I've said this before on many different streams and many different videos that I've put out. Mr. Ramaphosa, you are not my president. And you'll be shocked and surprised to know how many people feel this way. They may not say it outright, they may not say it on social media, but they definitely say it between one another. People are talking, Mr. Ramaphosa, and your time will end. You have a vote of no confidence, which you think you've dodged momentarily. Fine. You stay in power for a little bit longer. But let's be honest, you're just the spokesperson of the ANC. When NDZ comes out tomorrow or next week, then we'll know what's really happening. Perhaps you missed to talk about Western Cape in your speech tonight. And NDZ will come out and say, "Oh, no, wait, Ramaphosa forgot about Western Cape." Or maybe the entire nation. Who knows? But I don't trust you one bit, Mr. Ramaphosa, and there's a lot of people who don't. And your pathetic attempts of a threat and to treat us like children is not going to help you. It's not going to instill the fear that you're trying so desperately to do. As a matter of fact, it shows us who you really are. And you, sir, are a coward. And that's all you are. So that's how I feel about that. I'm not going to lie. I am happy that Western Cape is still under level 1 restrictions. I don't think that we should be under any restriction, but anyway, yeah, just look at the We Are Led Brigade. Yeah, they'll come out. They'll come out in their numbers. Before I go and before I start the next stream, so I'll be streaming with Amy and Yanni, so you guys might want to get ready. I'll be sending you a link 5. Just when I'm done here, I'll send you a link so you guys can join once I end this stream. But first, don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I have a funny video to send you, and I don't know if Yanni has sent me the other one that I requested. He's probably busy with it now. But I have some stuff to show you, which might put a smile on your face. Say, you know. So let's see here. Okay. Yes, let's do that one. And then I just gotta wait a moment. Do you guys agree with what I said? Do you not like what I said? Flying Dutchman is asking, Can any tell me what their plan is with this vaccine? Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the plan is. Nobody knows. All right. And then, crap. I think, yeah. All right. Well, there's one answer for you. Flying Dutchman. All right. So, you guys can let me know how you feel about that speech. But in a moment, I will show you a video, a funny video. All right. So, let's see here. Okay, here's the first one. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy.
Several hospitals in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro have reported a rise in alcohol-related trauma admissions. As we have said in the past, these alcohol-related trauma admissions divert our capacity that is needed to deal with COVID-related cases.
Cyril Ramaphosa. I love it. And here's the other one.
To ensure that we maintain the current prevention measures, the national state of disaster will be extended to the 15th of January 2021 in line with the Disaster Management Act. All existing level 1 restrictions remain in force and in place throughout the country.
Oh man, Cyril Ramaphosa is doing it again. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna share these on my social media. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, follow me on social media. I'm going to all the links are in the description below. So follow me on social media when I post it. I'm gonna put it everywhere. I'm gonna put it on TikTok. I'm gonna put it on Facebook. I'm gonna put it on Twitter and Instagram. Screw it. Why not? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Don't forget to like. And thank you everyone who gave a super chat. Cyril Ramaphosa, you were one of these people that gave a super chat. Thank you so much for that awesome super chat. It's greatly appreciated. And if you want to support my channel, you can support me for as little as 10 Rand a month. So please consider subscribing, consider becoming a member, and join the Telegram channel, ladies and gentlemen. For now, that is it. That is it. I mean, there's not much to say. There's not much to say. At the end of the day, it's just Nelson Mandela Bay that is experiencing stricter regulations. I fear that it's only a matter of time before the rest of us do. And I'll leave it at that. I think not much was said that we haven't already heard in the news. But the most appalling thing was the way the president belittled his people. And that's my opinion. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'll be back with a new stream. We're just going to general talk. It's going to be general talk. All right. Maybe try and make you guys, we'll watch some video. I don't know. We'll find something to talk about and we'll just have a bit of fun, relax. And we'll just chat to one another. So join me in 5 minutes. I'll see you there. If I don't see you there, I'll be back next week, Monday. It's Let's Get Real with DNA Harley. And I've got some other shows coming up as well. I'm also going to be live streaming the Cape Independence March. So ladies and gentlemen, please look out for that on Saturday. I'm going to be at the march and I'm going to be live streaming it. So if you want to know what's happening at the march, tune in. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, if I don't see you later, then stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Still getting used to all this stuff. Sorry, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.